Most people think credit cards become dangerous only when someone is careless or irresponsible, but the shocking truth is that many of the most damaging credit card mistakes are made by people who believe they are doing everything right, and that contradiction is what silently pushes millions into debt spirals every year. Welcome to Meta Economy Lab, where you can learn and understand more about the economy and related topics, so you can subscribe to the channel for continuous learning. Credit cards did not start as tools of danger. And when they were first introduced decades ago, they were designed as simple payment tools meant to replace cash and checks with convenience and trust. In the early days, banks issued cards cautiously. Credit limits were modest, and spending behavior was closely monitored, which meant mistakes were harder to make and easier to fix. As consumer culture expanded and economies shifted towards spending-driven growth, credit cards slowly transformed from payment tools into powerful profit machines built on interest, fees, and behavioral psychology. One of the earliest mistakes people make is believing that minimum payments are a safety net, when in reality, they are one of the most effective debt traps ever created. Minimum payments make balances feel manageable, while interest quietly compounds in the background, stretching short-term purchases into years of repayment. A small balance carried month after month may not feel dangerous, but over time, it can cost more in interest than the original purchase itself. Another major mistake comes from treating credit limits as permission to spend, rather than as a warning line banks expect many people to cross. Banks raise credit limits not because customers suddenly became safer, but because higher limits encourage higher balances, which generate more interest revenue. Many people do not realize that using a large portion of available credit can hurt credit scores, even if payments are always made on time. This creates a hidden contradiction where responsible behavior feels punished, while banks quietly benefit from higher balances. Late payments are often viewed as simple mistakes, but even one missed payment can trigger fees, interest rate increases, and long-term credit damage. Some people assume a single late payment does not matter. Yet credit reporting systems are designed to remember mistakes far longer than successes. Introductory offers are another dangerous illusion, promising zero interest while hiding the conditions that can erase those benefits instantly. One missed payment during a promotional period can retroactively apply interest to months of past spending, shocking cardholders who thought they were protected. Rewards programs create another trap by encouraging spending for points, miles, or cashback that rarely outweigh the interest paid on carried balances. Spending money you would not have spent otherwise, just to earn rewards, often results in financial loss disguised as benefit. Balance transfers appear to offer relief, but many people fail to notice transfer fees and limited time windows that restart the debt cycle. Debt does not disappear through movement. It only changes location and without behavior change. Balance transfers simply delay consequences. Closing credit cards seems like a responsible move, yet it can damage credit scores by reducing available credit and increasing utilization rate. This leads to a paradox where trying to escape debt can temporarily worsen financial health if done without strategy. Cash advances are among the most expensive credit card features, yet many users access them during emergencies without understanding the immediate interest and fees involved. Unlike purchases, cash advances often start accruing interest instantly at higher rates, making them one of the fastest paths into debt trouble. Another overlooked mistake is ignoring statements, assuming apps and notifications replace the need for careful review. Errors, fraud, and unnecessary fees often go unnoticed simply because statements are never fully examined. Subscription charges quietly drain accounts, and many people only notice them after months or years of automatic payments. Credit card companies rely on inertia, knowing most customers will not cancel unused services once they become routine. High interest rates are often blamed on banks alone, but consumers unknowingly trigger rate increases through behaviors they do not realize are risky. Using credit cards during financial stress can feel like survival, but it often deepens the crisis by turning short-term problems into long-term obligations. Many debt stories begin with emergencies, not luxury, showing how fragile financial systems can be when credit replaces savings. Economic downturns reveal these weaknesses, as job losses quickly transform manageable balances into overwhelming burdens. Technology has made credit cards easier to use but harder to understand, hiding complexity behind clean interfaces and instant approvals. The first takeaway is that convenience is not safety, and understanding how credit works is the strongest form of protection. The second takeaway is that small habits, repeated monthly, shape financial outcomes more than single large decisions. The third takeaway is that awareness breaks the cycle, because once the system is visible, it loses much of its power. The future of credit depends on whether people learn to control the tool or continue letting the tool control them. Meta economy. Lab gives you new perspective to see and understand more about the economy and related topics, so you can subscribe to the channel for continuous learning.